There is no such a thing as friendship. I think that term is a fucking trap. Friendship. It makes sense when you're a child, when you're learning the world. Junior high. Go make friends, yes. Learn people, how people act, think, how you are with other people. What do you have in common? How are you? What is your, right? Like high school. Okay, makes sense. Even college. All right. You're figuring life out. You're learning, taking classes, figuring out, like what type of people you like. Excuse me, blah, blah, blah. My matcha works for me. To digest after lunch is like the best thing to drink. Right? So, but when you're an adult, if you have friends, let me just tell you, what was it? What movie was it that I was watching? She was like, they've been married for 35 years. And she was like, oh, that means they're dead. And she's like, oh, you don't believe in marriage? And she's like, well, show me people that have been married for 30 years and I tell you people that are not doing anything with their lives. That is so true, right? And people want to get acknowledgement for, how like we fucking even worship it, right? People that are married for so and so, like for such a for this long amount, for this amount of time, blah blah blah. That's another trap. Yes, it is so rare in our generation not to be in a karmic relationship, because the majority doesn't work on themselves. If you're not working on yourself, then you're not with the right person. Whether it's a friendship, whether it's a lover. Tomato, right? So yeah, going back, it's alright. It makes sense when we're young. But once you're in your 20s, it's either misery loves company, and it's like a whole bunch of discombobulated, confused people gathering together, right? I mean, who else is going to show up at the happy hour? How else as bars and nightclubs going to survive? There would not even be a creation of those if there was no friendship. Why? Because misery loves company. People that are working on themselves, they don't have time for friendship. People that are amount to something, people that are working on themselves or worked on themselves and figured themselves out and doing something, right? People that has basically turned themselves into something, right? Other than just first name and last name. They have become something through working on themselves. Those type of people, they have partners. They don't have friends. Because what is friendship? Friendship is someone, oh, you got it. You talk about what you... Da, 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 da. What are you even talking about if you're not doing anything? But you talk on the phone like 2 to 3 times a week. Shit, even a day. Do you see how childish that is? We used to do that when we were in high school. It makes sense. You're just learning life. You're just learning relationship. You're just experiencing a friendship love, a boyfriend love, right? You're experiencing something other than parental love or brother and sister love. Right? So it makes sense. But when you're a fucking adult, if you have friends, especially plural, you're not doing shit with your life. You're all busy in each other's life. And it's like making sure nobody's doing better than the other one. Bashing one another through energetically. Killing each other's idea. Heck, you don't even have an idea. Why? Because great minds discuss ideas. Average minds discuss events. Poor minds discuss people. The majority of my generation is poor mind. Right? Because they can't even afford to experience events. Right? Because they're living paycheck to paycheck. Even if it's not that the case, you're spending your money where you're not benefiting. You're just a rat race. right? This idea has been contemplated. It's like, it's been on my mind since I woke up. It's like, there's no such a thing as friends. But I was like, as always, I contradict myself. I argue with myself. Not argue, debate with myself. What do you mean? Friendship is necessary, right? There's a version of me that was like, what do you mean? Friendship is a good thing. Da 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 da. Really though? Really? Because now I'm thinking about it. As long as we have something in common, we can be friends. But what does that mean? We're creating something. Iron sharpens iron, right? We have something to strive for, right? Not to figure out the next happy hour and where to meet up or where to go for a vacation on a weekend. Is let's drive to Vegas, or let's drive to Houston, or let's drive to Atlanta for the weekend, right? Just get fucked up and come back to work on Monday hungover. Fucking confused, just lost. Right? Perhaps this is to awaken the teenagers, right? Like the unique ones that are, here to fucking change the world. I don't want you to be wasting your time because you're not getting likes or you don't have support. Honey, all you need is your own support. All you need is your own like. When you work on yourself, your fan base is waiting for you. Your tribe is waiting for you. Your customers are waiting for you. Whatever it is that you want to do. Because you are trying to help the world. So the universe will compensate beautifully. Beautifully. Right? You're going to turn into something. Right? You're not just anybody anymore. That's what happens when a person follows their own interests. They start respecting their own true self and, have a peaceful dialogue within themselves. They have become a god when that happens. We are created through his image, right? That's what the good Bible says, the good book says. So what does that mean? Right? Like a creation, God creates. God never runs out of idea. Heck, you've never seen a face that is the same, right? Have you ever witnessed babies born with the same face? No. And we continue to reproduce like a fucking chicken. But God still hasn't run out of faces. But no one bothers to give birth to themselves. Why? Because we're so busy with unnecessary relationships. Our brains are occupied by unnecessary information. You have to choose your information. And you also have to choose where it comes from. Information you find on your own. How can you do that when you have friends? Friends are distraction when you're an adult. Don't look at it like a fucking achievement. Now, a lot of people are going to disagree. Trust me, the whole day I was disagreeing with my own self. It's beautiful to have friendship. Yes, it's beautiful. If you have something in common, if you are working towards something. If not, trust me, your high school friend, your friend from junior high up to high school, up to middle, up to college, whatever, like that amount of time spent on that friendship, that person can still be against you. I met people and build a relationship that is like in a very short period of time, and those people wanted better for me. Those people changed my life versus the ones that you can't let go because you spent it's like the relationship is like, that's my high school friend. We've been friends since we were teenagers. We've been friends since college. We've been friends since we were 21. That doesn't mean shit. That's a fucking crippling system. Go make friends. It's supposed to be friends with yourself. Like I said, when you're young, it makes sense. You're learning the world. But there's going to be a time where you decide to become something. If not, there's more than enough place to support friendship. right? Like I said, the happy hours, right? The nightclubs. And if you truly pay attention, right? If you're in your 20s and 30s and you still have friends and you still care, where do you spend your time? If you have friends in this generation, you can't tell me nothing. I guarantee you, you have to spend time where there is alcohol and drugs. Because you can't even enjoy each other. Because you don't give a shit about each other. How can you? You're fucking miserable. The only reason why you're spending time together is because you cannot spend time by yourself. You cannot be alone at home. That's why you're hanging out. Tell me the last time, like, a fucking regular person that works 8 to 5 would just go for a walk in the park or picnic, or let's get in touch with her friend, with her girlfriend. It doesn't matter even if it's a guy that's your friend. No, you have to be at the bar. Adults need external usage to fucking feel good. That's not fucking friendship, bruh. You're just scared. You're like on that fight or flight mode. You're like existing on that fear-based mentality. That's why you need to be surrounded by people. That's why you're scared. I will never forget during my flight attendant training, the company that I worked for started hiring people that are 20, starting from 20 now, right? The airline has changed the regulation. It used to be 21 because we serve drinks, alcohol. But now that has changed. So there were a lot of youngins in our class, and it's not like I was old either, but I was in my late 20s, right? So they make sure they partner up or they roommate people that are close by age, right? And oh my goodness, you can see like all the 20-year-olds are like in groups, right? And like I remember the instructor had to let us know, we don't like people that walk in groups in the flight attendant industry. She was like, because group equals to insecurity. And she's like, so all of you in the back right there, that is in the group, right? And it's so funny, all the older ones. And then again, when I say older, like me, people like me, like nobody older than 30 was in there, or 35. The oldest was like 35 years old. But like all of us are just like spread. We don't even want to be with me, like just me and my roommate. We don't even speak throughout the whole day. But we're sitting together, like we're all doing our own things. Like you can tell, like, invested in what we are learning, and that's it. Like when we go outside during lunch break or whatever, we want to sit by ourselves. Like I'm like getting grounded, like meditating on the grass, or like over there sitting by the tree. Right? I noticed the older ones were like, but the younger ones is just like in groups, like loud. Nobody listens to nobody. They're just talking. Only when you're insecure that you need people. I'm not saying fucking be wild animal, right? Again, find your tribe, find your community. They don't want us to know community and tribe. So they brainwash us with friends. Have friends. If you don't have friends, something must be wrong with you. Again, successful people don't have friends. They have partners. You know what I mean? I can see friendship like with your neighbor. All three of you in that private road, right? Even in that case, it's like we'll probably have a cookout. Let the children, if you have children, right? Like that's how rich people live. Oh, it's my neighbor. Everybody has something to do. They're working on themselves. They're busy, right? And this is like a perspective that truly, truly changed me living in Vegas, of course, right? Everyone is like doing something in Vegas. I love it, right? You would come across to a 60-year-old that's like, oh, I just opened a Facebook and I'm doing this business. I'm working on this. It's beautiful. The culture is very, very awesome in Vegas. Everybody's a go-getter. That's why I love it here. Right? So, again, this channel is for the philosophers, right? And my personal sensitive subject for me is teenage suicidal, right? Like I graduated with my clinical psychology as of September 2024, right? And it's the highest rate right now, like 12-year-olds, 13-year-old. Why is that? You are forcing yourself to be liked, to fit in. And now, right now, incarnation, you can even see like these new babies being born. It's like literally like with old people face, and they don't even do. I was watching this thing, this reel the other day. It said, it was titled, "Babies are not babying anymore in 2025." And I remember in 2020, a lot of babies were like born with their middle finger. Like they were like, yeah, they have their middle fingers on their cheeks. Like, that shit was crazy. Even my niece was born in 2021, and she did that, and my brother didn't even notice it. But until I told him, right? That shit is funny. Like, it's like incarnation, because we're like fucking reproducing like chickens. No one is really stopping to think and give birth to themselves and figure out what their sole purpose is. Women in my generation literally are taking as if it's an achievement. It's all about, like, it's in the fucking 1930s. This is like fucking Bridgerton, the movie Bridgerton. I swear to God. Like, women is like, your job is to fucking find a husband. That mentality still exists in this generation. What is more slavery than that? And women are the creator of life. So when a woman is not happy, she does a lot of damage. Because women are emotional beings. I feel like nature wants us to be connected a lot more. We have a lot more responsibility on the emotional base. Because whether you like it or not, right? Out of the month, 2 weeks, nature forces you to feel. Unless you're fucking pilled up, right? There's the PMS. And then the week after, there's the period. Right? We are like created to be attached to our emotion. Again, because we create life. But here we are just scattering our bodies everywhere and just like losing our energy everywhere. Like, we're fucking drained. And this is because these concepts, outdated concepts that society needs to rid of.